We got a new stroller from Marketplace.
Barely fit in the car.
It really did. It's embarrassing.
I know. Sterling is asleep in the back of the car, and we're trying to shove in a giant.
I'm a little annoyed it's not more compact. Also, I wanted a bigger stroller.
It's a 2-kid stroller.
Yeah.
If that's not.
Stop! They're gonna think that we really are having a second kid.
Do you want a second kid?
I don't know. I just got it to be just in case. They say if it's not a definite no, then you're definitely having another one, but I could go either way. Anyway, speaking of Marketplace, I must have entered into a dark side of Marketplace because I'm getting coffin.
Gonna need one day.
Coffins for sale. And
your mom's in town.
There was this really weird looking wig. It was really creepy stuff, but there was something that popped up. You know, merry-go-rounds, the horses. Like a vintage, and why did I want it? I need it.
That's creepy too.
I need it.
No, that's creepy.
I need it for decoration. I just envision it. If we had a little girl, put it in her room, like in the corner.
The ones people sit on America?
Yes.
No, that's creepy.
No, I think it's cute.
That's creepy.
It's cute. I'll have to show you the photo. I took screenshots.
Right, there you go. She brought up having another kid.
I just envisioned it being in a little girl's room. It would be so cute. Why did I want to buy it?
Oh, yeah, that's worse. Ew.
It's cute.
That's not.
It is too. It's so cute. I love it. It's a vintage carousel horse.
You talk about my AC unit being...
No, that's cute.
No, it's not.
Those are creepy coffins.
Those aren't. Yeah, those aren't.
Somebody handmade those.
Yeah, $100. Those are just decorations. Those are... Yeah, that's
Halloween decorations? Yeah. Oh, it is. It has a skull on one of them.
Jeez, babe.
LOL.
Yeah.
Dark side of Marketplace. Weird side. What's new with you?
I think Sterling's too cold at night.
He is. And I was going to tell you.
He's wearing a thin little thing on his arms.
No, but here's the thing. You're going to argue with me because you want a sleeper with sleeves. They're going to be just as thin. You can't get a fleece one. And there really are you don't want to bulk. He can't be, he has to be in like the least.
He's just wearing a t-shirt on his arms. So you need to turn
it down a smidgen. You do. You have to turn it down to probably 5.
Can't sleep in the heat either.
Agreed, and I'd rather him be cold than be hot. Talk about his sleep this week, because got in my car at midnight the other night and drove away.
It was 2 or 3 nights that were bad?
2 nights. No, it was 4 nights. So 2 nights, it was almost every hour. And then he did sleep a longer chunk, into the early morning. But then the other 2 nights, it was on the dot every 2 hours. I'm not joking. Every 2 hours he woke up. I fed him each time that time. But the every hour I was feeding him every other time and just patting him to sleep. It was rough for me this week. I had a very rough week with sleep.
I had to listen to it. It was tough. I had a tough time getting up and going to the gym every day.
Do you hear us every single time?
Yeah.
And he's in the stage too, he was in a thing where he wasn't crying, but you could kind of hear him moving and I don't want to say cooing, but making some kind of noise. Now he just wakes up and it's blaring crying, which is
Yeah, and he doesn't have a binky. He doesn't like a binky.
Yeah.
You, even when we first brought him home, he used a binky. So you could just calm him with that. Which that was always my fear is having a baby is when babies get attached to those. So you see 2-year-olds walking around with a binky. And that's not going to be our kid because he doesn't like one now. He doesn't like a binky.
No, I'm his binky.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, so it's there's no consoling him either. He's just... Yeah. And then he got a crib. So he slept in his crib for the first time last night. And when you put him in, it was really sad. It was because the bassinet, he was popping out the sides. But now the crib, he's this tiny little, he's just so little and he's just, it was really sad. It really was. I'm I don't want him in there all alone.
I didn't sleep as bad as I thought I was going to sleep.
I didn't either. Because he slept actually pretty good. He woke up at midnight. He
didn't wake up at all.
He woke up at 5, but 5. So he didn't wake up.
No, because he woke up when we were still editing videos at 10.
Yeah.
10:30.
So he actually did really good.
Yeah,
But it was sad just to see this little body in this big open crib.
It scared me because in the bassinet, he could just roll slightly and the mesh would stop him and he would just lay on his side, which I do think he likes sleeping on his side.
Oh, yeah.
Who likes sleeping on their back?
I can't.
No, me either.
he really does sleep like me, because this morning we were sleeping
I was
together.
going to take a photo of you guys.
And the way he sleeps arched, because I noticed this too. So when we spoon, I sleep like curved, like this is my head, and I sleep like arched.
Head
so when
back.
we
Head
spoon,
is
like
back.
my bottom is touching your butt, so like that, but like you kind of curl in, so like we do like a Y.
Yeah.
And then when he was sleeping, and he used to stretch like this all the time too, and that's how I stretch. But this morning he's sleeping on his side right now, and he's got that, like, he's arched back like this.
He loves to sleep like that.
And I know, and he's on his side, and that's how I sleep too.
It hurts my neck even looking at you guys.
I know, and I just thought it was so funny, because I'm like, that's literally how the way he stretches like that. He's like,
no, you guys were almost in the same position, and I was going to take a photo of you guys, but my phone was in here. I was like trying not to come.
It was funny this morning, because I had my hand on him, and he cried a little bit.
He likes a little pressure.
Yeah, I know.
Again, why weighted sleep stacks, I think,
so he cried 3 times, and I probably laid in bed for 30 more minutes, just like trying to keep him asleep. I'm shocked he's still sleeping. But
pre-parenthood, I remember you used to sleep like maybe 5 hours and you would be good. Like, and you were such a light sleeper. You would wake up, and I was such a hard sleeper. I never
I don't know
woke
if I was
up.
ever good.
Right, but you just like, you could function on 5 or 6 hours, whereas I need 9.
Yeah,
at least. Looking back, it's not good now.
No, I know.
But
that's
you thought it was so
I
normal.
think I mean, depends how far you take this back. So
not that far.
No, I know, but
let's not go years.
No, but like, so I used to be a really light sleeper, and I didn't like do good. Like, and I only used to get like 5 hours of sleep. I guess I still did, but anyways. When I started, you mean like supplementing and like doing
No. Before this, okay. So I always noticed, you were a very light sleeper, because I am the very opposite. And I'll never forget listening to that podcast on Joe Rogan with the sleep expert, Dr. Matthew something. Why We Sleep is the book, and he was on the podcast.
He's a neurosurgeon. Okay,
and he's Why We Sleep, and like he was talking about like how detrimental it is to your health. And you traveled a lot. That was the thing.
It was the sleeping in hotel rooms. He said, even if you think you slept good in a hotel room, you don't. You just don't ever sleep because you're not comfortable. And I was like, and I was traveling like
a lot.
Weeks at it. And I listened to that when I was on my way to Saudi Arabia. And I was like, this guy's like, not sleeping well can take 10 years off your life. And then he's like talking about like literally hotel rooms. I'm like, what? And then I remember, I think that's when I bought like my first Fitbit too, because Fitbit tracks sleep.
Yeah.
And it'll give you a sleep score. And then I got obsessed with my sleep score. And like, I always got like bad numbers. Not bad, but like 70s.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, like 70s isn't the worst, but like, anyways.
I remember exactly where I was at, because you were in Saudi and I was home, and we were like texting about it. And if you know me, my fear is you're going to die before me. So I'm like, we cannot take more years. Nuh-uh. I've talked to a couple women. They're like, no, that's not always true. Anyway.
A couple of women experts. Go ahead.
I just think we just need to keep you very healthy, okay?
I'm not.
You are.
I'm the one. I literally was cutting down that tree yesterday. Almost.
Stop.
Almost knocked me off the ladder.
Okay, so anyway, I remember exactly where like I was at and everything. I was like, oh my gosh, we got to really work on your sleep. So then you, like you said, you bought your Fitbit. We really got into supplementing with magnesium glycinate, which ours is a combination, which I love, and I can link that. I tell all my clients to buy it. Night and day difference, no?
It was the biggest thing, that I've ever done.
Yeah.
It was the biggest, cheapest, easiest thing to get better sleep was literally that.
Yeah. Taking magnesium before bed every night, which we did not do last night.
And I think, like stress depletes that and stuff too. Oh yeah, I'm like hyper stressed all the time. 100%.
The whole United States is stressed. We're all deficient in magnesium, and that's why I will say a blanket statement. Everybody needs magnesium. Stress depletes it. When you're not sleeping, that depletes it because that's a stress on your body.
And most people think magnesium helps you poop. And it's like, that's not the right one.
Right.
You're not
that's citrate.
Right. Yeah. And people always think it's like, it helps you poop. It's like, that one does, but that's the cheap one.
Yeah.
Be prepared to pay for it too, though. It's not cheap.
It's not bad. We get 2 bottles for $40.
God, some people are out there like, can't buy
it's worth it. Again, everybody needs it because, like you said, everybody's so like most of us are stressed out.
Yeah, but how many are in a bottle? Like, do we go through a bottle a month for 2 people?
No, we go through 2.
There you go. It's $40 a month.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know, but a lot of people.
But it's one of the supplements. Like I've already cut back on 2 of my supplements, and I will never stop. Magnesium will always, and fish oil will always. Those are the 2 that will be in my, especially while I'm breastfeeding fish oil, which that's a different topic. Night and day difference with your sleep.
Absolutely.
And I tell you're like you're like my case study that I tell all my clients. I'm like, listen, my husband was like not a great sleeper, and now before kids, because it's a little different now. We have something that constantly wakes us up, but even still, I think when we do sleep, we sleep.
Yeah. No, I literally was such a light sleeper, and it was like I'd wake up like 3 or 4 times. I never woke up. I just was a very light sleeper, and I always thought I was just a very light sleeper. Then I started taking magnesium, and then I'd literally like sleep, and then I would wake up when my alarm went off. I'm like, whoa, like that's what it's supposed to be like. Mm-hmm. And it just felt so much more like, and literally that put me into like, I went from like the 70s into like the 80s.
High 80s or?
Yeah. And I would hit 90s. But like I said, there's other stuff to that too. I think like morning sunlight and stuff like circadian rhythm.
100%.
Sunset, even like I remember being in Houston for work, and I don't know, I was working somewhere and I was staying in a hotel room, and I remember literally when sunset, it was summertime, I literally went out into the parking lot and was like listening to a podcast, and I was just watching the sunset just to like get that circadian rhythm. But like I think that in just like, I don't know, just natural like circadian rhythm and working out obviously, and just I did a lot of things, and I was doing sauna every day, but I would hit into like the 90s and stuff on my sleep scores.
Yeah. When Daddy Huberman told me about sunlight in the eyes in the morning, that was very, I think.
Yeah, you have, receptors in your eyes for like literally.
It's so true though. And even when we brought Sterling home, they say even walk him out and get the mail every morning, when they're newborns. And that's another thing we hated in the NICU was like.
Stuck in a box.
You're in this, which is like the opposite of how we live. So this is why we had such a hard time. Speaking for myself, I had such a hard time in the NICU because it's just the opposite of how I live. I don't live medically. I live very much preventative, and
it's just, for me, I was like, I just want to take him out for a walk.
Yeah.
It's like, let's go out for a walk. Let's go get some fresh air.
Yeah. Fresh air and sunlight. But yes, you're right. I'm glad you brought that up. Sunlight first thing in the morning, 10 to 15 minutes.
Which sounded so woo-woo to me too. I never what are you talking about? But I think
everything sounds woo-woo to you.
Yeah, because it's like, but it really is just like circadian rhythm. It's like, this is the way you're supposed to. It's the same thing with like winter and like summer, and like it's so difficult to make it to the gym in the winter, and because it's dark out, and you're like, how do I get to and it's like, because you're supposed to be hibernating.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not supposed to be like.
Yeah, you're supposed to be conserving energy, conserving calories, and like you're naturally doing less more tired because it's cold. And like obviously in today's society we can't just like, well, I'm just not going to do anything in the winter, I wish.
Yeah. But it really is tough. It's like you don't want to get up and go.
No, it is. They say too, sunset walks help you wind down at night.
That's what I'm saying. Like with the hotel, I literally went and walked around the parking lot at sunset just to get. But in the winter, when sunset's at 5:30,
right,
and then you're like trying to pack up and go, we used to go to the gym at 6. Ooh. It's like everything is telling you to sit on the couch.
Yeah, no, but I honestly haven't had like. Because again, I used to have no issues with my sleep, even not doing any of this. I was always a pretty good sleeper. I will say this made me I probably get more restful sleep. Like you're not just, like you said, like you're like, oh, this is how it feels to be like actually well rested. Sleep is just one of those things too. It's a number one thing if you are trying to lose weight or even gain muscle. Sleep is like wildly underrated for those things. Yeah. Wildly. So if you are struggling with weight loss too, when I don't sleep, I crave worse foods. You can't think, your brain is foggy, so then you probably just don't care what you're eating. It's harder to care. You know what I mean?
Here's another thing too. with the Fitbit. I don't wear a Fitbit now, but dude, one alcohol drink. One drink. That's what blew my mind too. Like you're like, oh, I just had a drink. Like
alcohol,
I'll have like a beer.
You're bringing up good topics that I don't have. Look at
you.
Yeah,
I had like a beer, and like I would, I was literally obsessed. I get really, really obsessed with things anyway, especially. But like I would look at my sleep score, and like it would be like a 76, and I'm like, oh, I had like 2 beers last night, and like, and I don't feel that bad. But you
cocktail.
Cocktail. But you just don't realize that like. And you have a drink and it screws your sleep score. And it might screw it for like, it might go to like a 76. And then like the next day, it'll be like maybe an 80 or like a 79. And normally I'm an 85. It'll take 2 days to get back to like an 85.
Alcohol is a big one too. Like
you don't realize
you're not getting that, you're not going into that restful deep sleep when you have drinks. It's like I don't know how to explain it. It's like a faux sleep, like a fake.
Yeah. And like I'm not hungover.
Right.
I mean, literally 2 drinks. Not hungover, not anything.
Not hungover, yes. No.
But you just don't sleep.
Because it messes with those cycles, the alcohol. Same thing with weed, marijuana too. Like it'll mess people. I know people who use it to go to sleep, and it's like you're not getting. Same thing with a drug too. Like any kind of sleep drugs you're taking.
I always was curious to that too. Like people don't really take Ambien anymore, but like they're like, oh, it puts you to sleep. Like, does it? Does it really like? It's
just not. Even melatonin was a big one too, and I've always thought melatonin was unnatural. Anytime I took melatonin in my young adult
unnatural,
years,
but
it's not it's weird to me. Yes, it's taking something to put you to sleep, and then drinking something or taking something to wake you up. To me, is not.
Well, and the thing is too, like your body makes melatonin.
Right.
That's the whole point, and it releases it, and like even in breast milk. So like that whole thing with like like her breast milk, your breast milk.
Matt is very into.
Well, like night and day, they've tested
breast milk.
So they test breast milk at night, and so like the mother's breast milk will have more melatonin at nighttime. So like you're supposed to like, and that was the thing when you were pumping, and it's like I always wanted AM or PM. Like it's different breast milk.
Yeah,
you're literally creating to put him to sleep.
Yeah, agreed.
And it's like people don't grasp that. Like you're supposed to. Your body is designed to do what it's supposed to do.
It is.
You don't need all these other.
Yes, I agree. And so melatonin, though, and you take it and your body gets used to that and it stops making it.
Yep.
Then it becomes just harder and harder and harder.
Like they have like melatonin that has like slow release and like there's quick release. And so you'll take like a pill that's got like the quick release to put you to sleep and then slow release to that's what your body does naturally. Like you're supposed to do that. And like you said, now your body quits doing it and then you're reliant, you can't sleep without it, and it's like
and like you said with the whole circadian rhythm, that's why you wake up, so your body knows when to release the melatonin. And also when you wake up, that is when your cortisol is supposed to be the highest, and it's supposed to slowly decline throughout the day, and that way you can go to sleep easier at night. It's because your cortisol is not spiked. But what we see is an opposite effect where cortisol is very low, so it's hard to get up in the morning, and it just slowly increases throughout the day, and then it's harder to go to sleep. So you're wired, but you're wired and tired. Dealing with your circadian rhythm will help with that.
That was another thing too before melatonin is I couldn't fall asleep at night.
Yeah,
I always was like, I always thought I was a night. I'm like, oh, I'm a night person. It's like no, you just can't really fall asleep. And I remember when I started taking melatonin. Like magnesium, I would like literally fall asleep. Like I'm like, oh, like boom, I'd be out.
Yeah, right when you hit the pillow. Because I will say though, I think I have designed our room, which I'll talk about. That like honestly, when you walk in there, even Sterling, we all just like you walk in the room and you're like, yes, because I
think it's the cold air.
And
it's that AC.
Oh my God, we can't talk about this for 2 episodes in a row.
It's cooler at nighttime, and that's why we have an AC unit in the bedroom.
Speaking of, that's another thing, and I was going to comment on this lady's post on Facebook, which I'll talk about. So there was like a little meme going around, the news. It's from like a news channel, and it says, "Sleep at 78."
Yeah.
Do this when you're gone. Do this to help conserve. And I'm like, who the fuck is sleeping at 78? And the lady who posted it was like, yeah, we sleep at, it wasn't quite 78, but it was high. And I'm like, you are getting terrible sleep.
Yeah. I worked
terrible sleep.
I worked with a guy
sleeping in that kind of heat.
that did that.
That's one of my tips on here for sleep is sleeping cold.
Yeah, it's circadian rhythm again.
Yes,
At
you're
nighttime,
supposed to get.
Yeah, it cools off, and you're supposed to cool off.
I was baffled, but I wanted to be like, this is why people aren't sleeping good. Is because that's a big thing too. And I never realized it until even we lived in our last house when we started doing the magnesium and everything and how it is. Because I don't like to be cold, and we would have the fan on and the air going. But now I love it, like I do. But that's a tip. Is like 68 to 70 is ideal of sleeping, and I think even the colder the better.
Get yourself a window unit for your bedroom, so then you don't have to chill your entire house down. You have to turn it up
some for your boy, though.
No.
Yeah. So I have that. Wow, that's the first one. Temperature is 68. But I was baffled, and I wanted to comment so bad and be like,
yeah,
not healthy for sleep. Like not healthy. And again, you need sleep if you do have weight loss goal. You need sleep in general to be functioning and to be like top of the top. Like I hate a brain foggy. I struggle not getting sleep because I can't think, and I have a lot of things that I have to work and do.
Yeah, so don't have kids. That's the moral of the story.
I'm convinced we'll never sleep again.
I will
say
don't feel
during
that bad.
Pregnancy, even first trimester, sleep was gone. Like I just did not sleep. I don't know what it was.
My thing too is I get up at 5 to go to the gym, and then like I'll take like rest days some days, and like Sterling gets up at 5. So it's like this catch-22. You're like, my alarm will go off and think, do I want to sleep until 6:30? And it's like it's all dependent on like when and I'll lay there for a little bit, and if I hear him, I guess I'm going to the gym today. Because it's pointless because he'll be up and then I can't
work out with me, but whatever. Okay, another thing that I also really have my clients do, and I'm getting back to doing, no screens, like 1 to 2 hours before bed, no scrolling social media. Social media is so stimulating, no watching stimulating shows.
We do all this.
We do. I'm being better though, and I was scrolling in the middle of the night when I was breastfeeding, and then I would have so much trouble going back to sleep, and then boom, he's up again another hour and a half. So I quit scrolling in the middle of the night, and huge difference already. But I am being better about no screens before bed. Weekends, I'm a little more loose, like to stay up and watch TV. Also, we were editing late night, so I can't say I'm perfect. But here's my big one. And I was so happy when we got rid of the TV in the room. One, it's big and clunky and ugly.
Doesn't have to be.
It doesn't, but also right now we can't even watch. Yeah. We put it back in when I was pregnant because your parents were here too, and it was nice to have just like our own little space, but it's back out of the room because can't even watch it with Sterling anyway. But just having those screens and those lights are going to keep you up. Reading a book for me puts me right to sleep, so I need more books on my Kindle so I can start reading again before bed. But also, I can't really have a light in there at all because he goes to bed earlier than us. Another big one, and I do stick to this one, we've kind of... Lately, okay, I feel like I can sleep no matter how much caffeine I drink because I'm just chronically tired with the baby. But no caffeine after noon. Caffeine has an 8-hour half-life. That means that in 8 hours, half of that caffeine is still in your body.
Yeah,
I think
it means 16 is the full.
Yeah. So if you're chugging caffeine at 5 p.m., and don't give me this, I'll have friends and clients that are like, it doesn't affect me. No, it absolutely,
it's the same
even
thing.
Though you don't notice it, it's wreaking havoc on your nervous system.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the alcohol. Like, you think you're sleeping, like, but 2 drinks, and then again, you're not. You don't know what's happening at night. You might sleep through the entire night, but like your body's still not. Yeah. Yeah. My old boss would like, they always did this. They would make coffee. And he's like, oh yeah, I'll have coffee at like 8 p.m. I'm like, you're just living off caffeine. Yeah. You're not.
No, it is. It's not. Even if you think that you go to sleep, and again, I think the same thing. I'm like, I can sleep whenever, but it's not your most restful sleep that you could be getting. Something else that I love is like my canopy humidifier. Not an ad. Love my canopy humidifier. 1, for the white noise, and 2, for the humidifier. And 3, it's just good for the skin and everything. But I really noticed a difference. And like it has little essential oils you can put in. And it's like you can make it a whole like nighttime routine. Put a little lavender oil in there.
We have 3
but
of them.
Can it be humidifier? No, we have 3 because we love them so much. I wish they would come out with a bigger one because those are like 1-room ones.
Well, and our rooms now
are big.
Yeah, like twice
They're
the size.
honestly, yeah. Nighttime tea. Sleepy time
tea. It
tea.
makes me pee though.
It does. And that's why I quit when I was pregnant because I was already peeing so much. Yeah. Obviously, right now, I don't have much time to do this, but just like a short mini self-care routine before bed is just like relaxing, like take 5 to 10 minutes to yourself and do this every night. Just make it a habit, make it a routine. And this will get you into the mindset of like, okay, we're going to bed, we're winding down. Mine right now, and I'll list the products I use. I do, I wash my face. I use the Dime Beauty cleanser. There's no pore cloggers in it. Also not an ad. And then mine is very simple. Floss my teeth with Cocoa Floss, which I'm really loving, and Hello toothpaste, which is no fluoride. And then I have been brushing my hair, which something about it is so soothing before bed because I'm not a
Me too.
hair brusher. I'm not a brush my hair before bed. I'm a let it get into a rat's nest and then take care of it.
You don't remember that though as a kid? You're like, I brushed each side. I think it was a Brady Bunch thing. Like, I brushed each side 1,000 times. And Marsha had the nicest hair because she brushed her hair.
I think it's true.
Yeah. And it was the thing back in the day.
Kendall, our friend, she's a hairstylist, too, told me to brush vertically, like take the brush, not because everybody wants to brush this way, horizontally. And she said vertically and it's like stimulating to your, and I notice a difference. Well,
you're hitting it with more
and then
bristles.
I do. And you know what it reminds me of? Bridgerton, they would be brushing their hair too. Everybody does.
See?
And I'm like, yeah, it does. It makes it so like softer and shinier. And then I use my favorite moisturizer, which, can I just brag? I have a code. I'm actually an influencer.
So this is an ad.
So this is a little mini ad. I'll put it in the notes. But if you're going to get one thing from there, and one thing that I get every month is their moisturizer. It's the best. And I've noticed a huge difference in my skin. And so has my esthetician. Like, she used to be like, you're kind of dry, especially like my forehead right here.
Nobody's ever told you that.
I'm not a dry.
I have dry skin.
You do. And I'm the opposite. But I do my little skincare routine. And all I do at night is just cleanse and moisturize. Plus, brush my teeth, brush my hair. My little routine.
I think the biggest takeaway is you have to stick to a routine.
You do.
Because you have to get into that.
It gets you into that.
It's even consistency with your body. Like, okay, this is when we sleep.
Yep.
People who do this
And again, that's why I think as soon as we walk into the bedroom,
yeah,
we all it's like our bodies know from years and years of this. And even Sterling, if you have a baby, I can't stress that it's more important to have a bedtime routine.
With cold
a bedtime routine. I
honestly need more coffee. I'm out of coffee.
Oh, same. Almost.
We should, that's what we should do here. We should have
little coffee stand.
Coffee. Yeah. Well, we'll get a coffee table, but then we'll put the coffee pot right there and make a double so we can
Good idea. I like that.
Even though this whole podcast was literally about we're talking about caffeine and sleep.
Jeez. How we need more. Yeah. We also have meal prep today, which
kill me.
I just feel like it's kind of like a treat yourself. On meal prep day, I can have another thing of caffeine, another serving.
I think the most important thing is just being routine.
Yeah, and having some kind of routine.
Normalcy, and just this is your body gets used to okay, this is when we do this is when we do this. You're tricking your body when you're doing you're flip-flopping, you go to bed at 10 or you go to bed at 9 or you wake up early or you go to, and that's why it's even me, my alarm goes up at 5. It's I'm almost always up at 5. There's no because that's just when my body, even this morning.
Sterling was sleeping through the night. Again, he's going through little growth spurts here and there and has his moments. But overall, having a kid changes everything. You sleep you really do sleep when you can. There's our best sleep tips. We, pre-baby, used to.
I think we still do good.
If you like this, let us know. I think that's a good topic to kind of start with because sleep is so important. Again, if you have any type of health goals, if you're a living person, you have to sleep. That's when all your healing happens, all the repairing in your body, it has to be done. So why not start there? Matt had some great tips he brought to the table. I really don't tell him the topics beforehand either, but I did last night.
I come up with topics every day.
Signing off.
Oh, Sterling didn't get